St. John was born in 1881 in the northern part of Italy. His original birth name is Angelo Roncalli. He also had 13 siblings. St. John's family was poor and they made a living as farmers. He went into the seminary when he was only 12. St. John the 23rd received his doctorate in theology in 1904. He was ordained when he was 22. He was a secretary to the bishop for 10 years. He also taught church history. St. John the 23rd served in the military as a chaplain during World War I and was discharged in 1915. He was appointed several positions dealing with foreign relations. In 1920, St. John the 23rd served at the Holy See and was the director of an Italian organization for the support of foreign missions. In 1925, he was assigned the apostolic visitor in Bulgaria. In 1935, he had the job of apostolic delegate for Greece and Turkey. In 1944, St. John the 23rd was appointed the papal nuncio to France. In 1953, he was named a cardinal by Pope Pius XII. In 1958, the cardinals elected him as pope. Most expected St. John to take a passive role as the Pope because of his age. Instead, he called for the first ecumenical council in nearly 100 years. St. John also led the first session of the Second Vatican Council. His mission was to unite all Christians, reform Catholicism, and spread peace. The changes he made are still being carried out by Pope Francis today. St. John demonstrated Christ's love by taking simple actions that no other pope had done before. For example, when he was the pope, he visited the sick in the hospital. He also walked the streets of Rome, getting to know the ordinary people. St. John came from a humble beginning and continued to show ordinary qualities throughout his life. As the pope, he did not want to be treated like royalty. St. John performed one documented miracle when he healed a French nun. Pope Francis waived the second miracle requirement in order for Pope John XXIII to become a saint. We can be more like St. John XXIII by working to be peacemakers in our lives. We can also be more like him by accepting those who are different and not being judgmental. St. John XXIII is the patron saint of papal delegates. He was canonized on April 27, 2014. His feast day is on October 11th. St. John XXIII died on June 3, 1963. He is remembered for uniting Christians around the world and making changes to the liturgy. St. John's motto was obedience and peace. He was obedient to God throughout his life and was always a peacemaker. St. John hoped that all Christians would continue his work as a peacemaker, as he describes in the prayer he wrote.